Hey everyone, this is Dr. T again and I hope you're enjoying my channel and I hope you're liking the book recommendations and the Netflix recommendations that I have for you. So I have had a lot of people message me asking for recommendations on books that are short and can be read in a small period of time and they would not have to invest so much into reading this 600 or 500 page novel. So today from my own collection, I want to suggest one of the books that is the most beautiful and by an author who is evergreen. So this book is Breadmaker Stories by Ruskin Bond. So Ruskin Bond is, as I said, an evergreen author. Ruskin Bond's stories come from his own childhood and his writing is so simple and so beautiful that we can actually imagine ourselves in his shoes. He does not always use his own memories as a first person, but find an underlying tone of his affections and his emotions flowing through these stories. We know that Ruskin Bond came from Britain and fell in love with the country, that he chose to stay here even after the British Raj got over. As of today, Ruskin Bond is 84 years old with a Padma Shri and a Padma Bhushan to his name. He lives with his adopted family in Missouri and he is one of the most inspirational writers that we have in India today. So coming to Ruskin Bond stories. So the book that I suggested for you, The KITEMAKER Story, a collection of 13 short stories that were written by Ruskin Bond throughout his career. So if you haven't grabbed these by now, I definitely recommend that you do so. So let me read the titles of some of the stories that he has written. So I'm sure you guys might have read at least one of it or heard about these. So here goes. Life with His Father, My Father's Last Letter, Untouchable, The Photograph, The Boy Who Broke the Bank, The Fight, Love is a Sad Song, Time Stops at Shimla, The Kite Maker, The Tunnel, A Face in the Dark, He Said It Was Arsenic, The Last Time I Saw Delhi. So these are some of the stories that he has written and they are short, crisp, precise and beautifully elaborated. You will not regret picking up this book. I highly recommend that you do so. So coming to one of the most epic stories that are present in this collection, and that is The Untouchable. So this was a story that Ruskin Bond wrote when he was 16 years old. It is his own experience and he uses this story in the first person. The story highlights the discrimination and the caste system that was prevalent in the divided India. He was the son of a Nawab and therefore all the servants that used to work in his house were considered untouchables according to the caste system. He reminisces on one particular night where there was storm and thunder and Ruskin was absolutely terrified of the night. He finds himself screaming and shrieking and unable to sleep. So he goes into the room of the servant boy who used to serve him as his personal butler. He was the one who used to water the couscous on the windows of Ruskin's room to keep it cool in the time of peak summers. As he enters the room, he finds that the room is in a terrible shape, but the little boy who served him had a grin on his face. Ruskin was so terrified of the night that he went and sat with the little boy. It was that time that he realized that even though they were of the same age, the opportunities that presented to them were extremely lacking. So this was the story that highlighted the prevalence of the caste system in the country. The one line that touched me when I was reading this story was when Ruskin sits next to the boy and the boy says that the monsoon is finally here. Ruskin could see that the boy's voice was happy and elated because he understood that now that the monsoon was here, the boy would not have to work so hard fetching water from the well every time Ruskin's couscous needed watering. So he understood that the lack of opportunities came from where and which family the person was born. This was the harsh reality that he highlights in this story. The next story from this collection that I absolutely loved was The Kite Maker. So the story of the Kite Maker is beautiful and is a contrast between the old age and the new. So the third story that I absolutely loved from this collection was The Photograph. The Photograph is a story about Ruskin Bond's grandmother who finds a picture from her youth. Looking at that picture, she reminisces the day when this picture was being taken. She was a naughty, independent, young girl, absolutely did not want to get the picture clicked. She would rebel against her mother's orders, she would play with the boys of the gully. That reminded me of my own grandmother. She reminisces on the contrast as to how life has changed, how energized her youth used to be, and how time has calmed her through the ages. So these are some of the short stories and beautiful memories that Ruskin Bond shares with us in this book. So if you guys are looking to pick up a book which is short and is beautifully written, I highly recommend the KITEMAKER stories to you. If you guys have read this or you have come across some beautiful writings by Ruskin Bond, don't forget to leave your comments down below. And if you guys do pick it up, come back and definitely tell me your review of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.